patch as well. When you finish the HCG protocol, the HCG protocol is done usually in 3 or 6 week rounds. However, these days most people just do it for the length of time that they want to. I definitely don't recommend doing it more than 6 weeks. It's a lot for your body to go through to lose that much fat so quickly. I think it's a very healthy thing to do, to take a nice long break between your rounds. Eat healthy, work out, just enjoy your new body at the point that it's at, and then get on to your next round of HCG and lose some more fat. So following the low calorie part, however long you do it, say you do it for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, when you get off, there's going to be a period of 72 hours after your last injection that you need to continue eating the 500 calorie diet even though you're not injecting. That's because it takes that long for the HCG to get out of your system. For 72 hours after your last injection, you continue to eat the 500 calories. After that 72 hours, you start what's called phase 3. By most people on YouTube, we call it phase 3. And that's where you have to stabilize your new weight. So when you lose this much weight really quickly, at first, your body, it's going to be very volatile. Your body's going to naturally want to go back up to where it was. So in order to stabilize your new weight and kind of create a new set point for your body, Dr. Simeons had his patients eat a no starch, no sugar diet for a period of 3 weeks, during which time you're supposed to keep your weight within a couple pounds of your last injection weight or your last dose weight. So the idea behind that is basically to create a stabilization where your body is at around the same weight for a few weeks, and after that it's like your body gets used to being there and it likes to be there. So when you do that, then after that period of time, you're able to start incorporating some healthy starches and sugars, again in moderation of course, and the idea is that your body will now be comfortable at the weight that it's at, kind of reset where you're at, and you'll be able to eat a few more things without your weight jumping up. If you were to finish the low calorie portion of the diet and immediately start eating potatoes, and pancakes, you will see your weight jump up very quickly. So follow the protocol. If I can tell you one of the most important things about doing the HCG diet is that P3, the stabilization phase, is by far the most important part of this diet. Far too often, we view the diet part as the important part, and we're really focused and really serious about losing weight. And then as soon as we get to P3, we kind of just, everything goes out the window, and we're totally laid back and lax about it. We don't do it right, and then all of a sudden, we've gained 5, 6, 7 pounds, and it's only been a couple weeks. So don't underestimate the importance of that phase. Honestly, it's more important than the diet part. It really is. If you do that part properly, you will be successful. So anyway, that's kind of it in a gist. After the P3 period of keeping your weight within that couple pounds for a few weeks, you can go into what's called P4, which is maintenance, where you can, see what else you can add in, see if you're able to add in some potatoes or some yam or, an occasional pancake or whatever. You just kind of figure out what your body does well with in order to maintain your new weight. Now, I can tell you guys, some people wonder, like, afterwards, in order to maintain my weight, do I have to start counting calories and only eat 1,200 calories a day? For me, I have not had to do that. I don't count calories. I don't eat 1,200 calories a day. I know I eat quite a bit more than that. I do, however, eat very healthy now. I have learned to find substitutes for some of the things that I used to eat, like ice cream. I'm not saying you can never have ice cream, but I used to eat it in pretty large quantities. So it doesn't matter what diet I did, if I started eating ice cream again the way I used to, I would regain the weight. So for me, I have found healthy replacements that are much lower in calorie or lower in sugar that enable me to continue getting full and eating, what I want and not worrying about it, but still maintaining my weight. So I hope that's helpful, for any of you guys wondering about that. Now, one more thing I want to mention about P3, the stabilization phase. The way Dr. Simeons laid it out is that if you do find your weight going 2 pounds over your last injection or last dose weight, you are supposed to do what's called a stake day. A stake day is basically like a mini fast. The morning that you wake up that you're over 2 pounds, you would basically drink water all day long, don't eat anything, and then for dinner you have a nice good-sized steak with an apple or a tomato. The following morning you're usually going to be down, 2 or 3 pounds. So basically that's just like a correction mechanism to bring your body back to where it was. You're trying to just create a stability factor for your body. And the thing here is when you do a stake day, you're supposed to, if you have to do that, you need to restart that 3-week stabilization phase over. So if you did 3 weeks of P3, but you had to do 3 stake days during that time, you're not done at the end of that with P3. You need to restart the no sugar, no starch phase after every stake day. So the idea is just to keep your weight within a couple pounds for a period of 3 weeks, however long that ends up taking you. So one more thing I want to say about that is take it a little bit with a grain of salt. If you are eating super clean and you are doing like a lot of weightlifting, like I do when I'm in P3, I take it with a grain of salt because I find that I've built quite a bit of muscle between my HCG rounds because I'm doing the weightlifting. So I kind of basically watch my fat, how much fat I have, more so than I watch what the scale says. When you exercise, there's always a lot of water retention because your body's rebuilding muscle and it surrounds the torn muscles with water. When you build muscle, obviously that weighs something. So for me, sometimes I actually do get out of that 2-pound range. In fact, I usually do. And that's not something that I worry about because I know that I'm eating properly for my body and I know the reasons for those gains. I know that that's not fat. But if you're in doubt, if you're eating some oatmeal on P3 or something, and you're not exercising and your weight's going up, I do believe in doing those stake days. They do really work, and it is really good to try to stabilize that new weight. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. I know this is a really long video, but for anyone who just wanted to get kind of a quick rundown of how the protocol works, I just thought I would do a video for those of you who like to watch video. The other thing is I was speaking about avoiding fats on the diet, and that goes for using any oils or fats on your skin as well. Some people find this hard to believe, but our skin it's one of our largest organs. I think it's either our second or largest organ or something of our whole body. Or maybe it's the largest. I don't remember, but it's first, second, or third largest organ. And we absorb stuff through our skin. So if you're slathering on olive oil on your skin, it's going to absorb. And the hormone HCG, it really does somehow make fat in our body really volatile. I wish I could explain it to you in more detail and say that I know exactly what's happening, but to be honest, no one really knows exactly what it's doing. Unfortunately, we don't have little cameras that can be all over our body all at once seeing what's actually happening inside. All we can see are the results. But what's interesting is not only does being on HCG cause us to lose a high amount of fat when we're on the low-calorie diet, you will also gain fat much more quickly if you cheat on the diet than if you weren't on HCG. So that's how you know that the hormone is not a placebo. It does something with fat that's pretty crazy, and it makes it, fat very volatile. So if you're taking in any fats, it's going to turn that into fat in your body. So don't be paranoid, though, about, you do want to check your different, like lotions especially, you'd want to double check those. If they have certain oils, you wouldn't want to use those. But for the most part, I wear all my makeup and I haven't had a problem. I don't think most makeups these days are really made with a bunch of oils. I think in past years they may have been, but for the most part, they're made with just a bunch of chemicals, right? So it's fine, right? But anyway, so I don't think you need to overthink that, but just stay away from the obvious sources of fats and oils when it comes to your skin. So I hope that helps. I also recommend avoiding things like having your hair dyed and colored while you're on the protocol. Anything that's like that chemically, processed, I would avoid that. Just wait till after. It's only a few weeks, just to be safe. So I hope that's helpful. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me or look at my fact page. It's pretty comprehensive. But anyway, I just want to kind of give you a rundown on that. So hope that's helpful. Take care, guys. Bye.